What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about some actually very good news for Alan Wake 2, and it's that the game has been delayed. Now, you could say, well, normally, delays, although necessary when, they happen, they still aren't great for the consumer. We normally don't like them. Well, I actually called this one. We've been talking for so long about getting out of the way of really that mid-October period, right? So it was originally going to release on October 17th, and then 3 days later, 3 days, is going to be Spider-Man 2, as well as a little gem that I don't think too many people are talking about, but they certainly will buy it, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, okay? Alan Wake is going to get crushed. I mean, we knew that for a very, very long time. We saw Assassin's Creed moving up by a couple days, so now Assassin's Creed is on the 5th. So it's very clear people did want, or game developers, publishers, they wanted out of that mid-October period. Now, it doesn't necessarily stop, but those are the two big ones in Mario and Spider-Man. There's a lot of really solid games, I imagine, that are coming up, but they're not necessarily that big. So now Alan Wake was pushed by 10 days, and they basically say on their Twitter, they admit it. And I've always said this, I respect developers that basically say, hey, it's too busy, we want to give ourselves a fighting shot, so we're moving out of the way of other games. I've said that for like a year plus, on this channel. I really respect games that do it, and they literally say that. October is an amazing month for game launches, and we hope this date shift gives more space for everyone to enjoy their favorite games. We can't wait to show you what's next for our favorite novelist is up to in the Dark Place next week. Obviously, we know it's going to be at Gamescom, and they'll show Alan Wake stuff. Thanks for your patience. So right there, you admit it, right? If you want to play Mario, if you want to play Spider-Man, if you want to play Alan Wake, you should be able to. So now it's more in the range of City Skylines 2, which is the 24th. The Metal Gear Solid Collection is also the 24th. Alone in the Dark is the 25th. And then you'd have Alan Wake on the 27th. Even closer to Halloween, I don't know if that means too much for people. I mean, it was already in the Halloween month, right, for a horror game. So I think that already gives it as much of a benefit that it can possibly give, or a bonus, and I don't know about if it comes out 4 days before Halloween. I don't know if that massively, helps it in that regard. But then November, again, you don't really have any massive hitters. You have things that are going to be pretty, I mean, obviously you have COD, right? I kind of just ignore that altogether, but that does exist, and obviously that's going to be like the best-selling game of the year like it is every year. But you have Star Ocean on the 2nd. You have WarioWare on the 3rd. Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden, that's that Don't Nod game, on the 7th. The Man Who Erased His Name, right? The Yakuza now turned into Like a Dragon Gaiden game is November 9th. So, the beginning is more, I think, solid hits. I don't know if any of those games are going to be like game of the year kind of things. So Alan Wake does really only has to compete, I guess, with that end of October period. But, Metal Gear is such a different kind of game. Alone in the Dark, I guess. Alone in the Dark is maybe as close as you're going to get to Alan Wake in that kind of field. And then City Skylines, City Builder, that's totally different, right? So I think this is for the best. It's still close. I mean, again, you're not going to get out of this period, right? There's always going to be competition. You can't really do anything about that. But by it moving 10 days, now coming out the 27th, you have literally 7 days to beat, and it's in reverse now, right? So now it's Marvel Spider-Man 2 coming out first. I had always said, well, I'm going to have to play Alan Wake in like 3 days. I'm going to have to I'm going to have to put like 6 hours, in each day, maybe even more, to beat that game before Spider-Man. Now it's like, all right, well, I have a week with Spider-Man. Let me put in as much time as 30, 40 hours, however much it takes, beat Spider-Man, and then I can play. And I mean, that's, I guess, not even considering City Skylines and stuff that I do want and I do assume I'm going to get. But to me, it's always been, for October, Alan Wake and Spider-Man. Those were like the two standouts. Those are the ones that I will drop kind of everything else for them. It's sad that I might have to drop, one for the other, but I think it's going to be okay. Now, this is for the best. I don't know how much it'll, impact the sales, maybe a little bit. We'll have to see. I've always said, like, I am worried about Alan Wake's kind of sales trajectory. It's never sold too well. It's never been this 5-10 million, selling machine. It's never once done that. In fact, it's actually kind of underperformed, and then now it's coming out in a month that's just absolutely packed. At least it's in a better position now. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.